Good morning, everybody. This is Gayle. Welcome to my Friday Frolics. And look at my new do. I have to admit, this is not a finished look. It's still a little bit wet. I'm just looking at it. It's still a little bit wet. But, last Friday I told you I had a hair appointment, and I was just so fed up with my hair. I went in and I said, cut it all off. And she panicked because she says, what if you don't like it? I said, well, it's hair. It'll grow. So I just decided I would do a little spike. And it's still a little damp from my shower. I haven't, what I do is I put gel in it and just kind of fluff it and then let it dry. And then I go back and soften it a little bit. And I haven't done that part yet. So it's still a little wet looking, but that's okay. I'm going to enjoy it. Weather's been warmer. It's been 90 degrees the last couple of days. It's going to be 90 again today, but there's not much humidity. And that's the big thing in Virginia. We have the worst heavy, stagnant humidity. When it gets hot here, and we're right on the, where I'm in central Virginia, and on one side, excuse me, we have the ocean, and on the other side of the state, we have mountains, and those mountains stop the humidity from coming across the state, the breeze from blowing it around, so it just kind of sits there. And usually in the summertime, we don't have much breeze, and it's just a really stagnant heat. But I like the heat. I don't mind the 90 degrees. That doesn't bother me at all. It's the humidity that gets to me. So I'm going to enjoy this weather while I can. Still working on building my stamina back. I feel good. I really do. I feel great. But I mean to tell you, it doesn't take much to wear me down. I went to my exercise class again on Monday and couldn't make it through all the leg exercises. It seems to me my legs are the big problem now. But they're better. They were better than the last week. So every week I'm sure it'll get a little bit better. But, I'm just not used to it. I don't do sick. And, even when I have like a sinus infection or something, I usually keep going. It doesn't get me down. But this really got me down. But anyway, I'm feeling much better, getting there anyway. Let's see, what's happened in the last week? My son got his 6th degree black belt on Saturday, and I was so proud of him. He's 50 years old, but he's been doing this for about 30 years, 28, 29 years, something like that. It's close to 30 years. And he's just so dedicated. It's martial arts is not so much protecting yourself or hurting other people. It's building character. And he's one of the best men that I know. He really is. I love him dearly. But when I filmed, videotaped his tests. He has forms, and then he does a break. And when he did his break, he jumped up in the air and went this way, and this way. Kicked 3 boards and broke them before his feet hit the ground. I can't even think that fast. So, but I was just so proud of him. And then after that, he went over and he broke 12 boards. And he had 14 there, and when he was coming down to break the boards, instead of hitting with this part of his hand, he hit with this part of his hand. He overshot the board, so he only broke 12. If he had hit it with his hand, he would have broken all 14. But, it is what it is. But he is just such an awesome person. So we had that Saturday. Sunday after church, my Sunday school class went to a local barbecue place and had lunch. And it's one of those places where they cater to military, police officers, firefighters, anything like that. And at noon, everything stops you know, the cooks stop, everything stops, and they sing the national anthem. So it was nice, you know, and everybody was standing, no comment. And let's see, Andre Ingram, the basketball player that's been in the news so much lately. I saw him this week, and I saw him last week, but this week I told him, I said, you know, it's amazing. Well, to back up a bit, when I get to the rec center, when I volunteer on Monday, there's a game called pickleball that's starting. They start at 9, and I start at 9. But Andre does his shooting practice on the courts until 9 o'clock. Well, last week, they didn't know who he was, so it wasn't a big deal to them. Evidently, during the week, they all realized who he was, so this past Monday, they were all trying to get selfies with him. And it was so funny. So when he came out, he just looked at me kind of funny, and I said, don't like being this popular, huh? And he goes, well, it really takes away from my, you know, personal life. And I said, I know it does. I said, and you'd be amazed at the number of people that don't know that you work out here. And I said, but that could be a good thing. Judging from what I just saw, I could see 100 people lined up outside waiting to come in and get a selfie with you. And he just laughed. He's the nicest guy. So hopefully the Lakers will pick him up because he really deserves it. He's worked really hard through the years. And I really hope the Lakers go ahead and sign him, you know, for a regular season next year. And let's see. What else is going on? Got to take my dog to the vet today. I tell you, you know, this month was going to be the first month that I wasn't having to pinch every penny, because I don't have an oil bill payment this month. And lo and behold, I've got to take my dog to the vet. So I'm still going to have to pinch every penny. It's bad enough that I have to pinch pennies for my own expenses, but, you know, when you have an animal and a pet, you're obligated to take care of them too. And matter of fact, I probably shouldn't even tell y'all this, but Monday when I was leaving my exercise class, I went out to my car, and it was about 80 degrees outside, and I heard a dog barking. And I looked, and it was in a car, catty-cornered, you know, the cars butt up together like this, and I was in this row, and this other lady was in this row over a car. And I went over, oh, my dog is barking to come in. I hoped he'd stay outside till I finished my video. Let me pause this for a minute and let him in. Sorry about that. Sometimes he goes outside and wants to stay out there for a half an hour, and other times he just wants to go out for 5 minutes and come back. And evidently this was his 5-minute trip. But anyway, I got real upset because there was this little dog in the car, and the windows were cracked about this much, but anybody that knows anything about leaving animals or children in a car know that it doesn't take long for a car to heat up, even with the windows cracked. So I wrote a note. I didn't know how to go about finding this person because it could have been, I assumed it was a woman only because it was a white CRV and it just looked like a woman's car. It could have been a man. But I went inside and told the people at the desk that if anybody asks, you know, I'm the one that left the note on the car. I just said that it is too hot to leave a dog in the car. You know, well, as I was leaving the note, one of the ladies from the class I was in came out, and she came over, and I said, "Is this your car?" And because she was walking that way, and she goes, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Why is your dog locked up in that car?" And she goes, "Oh, he's okay." I said, "He may not be okay, because if she had been in my class, he had been in that car for an hour and a half." Well, she got very irate when I even said anything to her about it was too hot to be leaving a dog in the car. And she kept insisting her car was not hot. You know, come get in my car. You can see that it's not hot. I said, all I know is my car is white. I opened my car, and my windows were cracked, and when I opened my door, the heat poured out. And I said, you're lucky that it's not any hotter than it is, or the dog would probably be dead. Well, she just read me a riot act, and I said, wait a minute. I don't want to argue with you, but the state of Virginia has a new law that went into effect last summer that if I see, or anyone sees, a child or an animal in a locked car in the summertime, we are allowed to break a window to get the dog or child out. So when I told her that, she jumped all over me and told me, oh, well, you'd have to pay for it because my car is not hot. And I just, I didn't even want to argue. I just told her, I said, okay, I said, I've told you how I feel. I'm not going to argue anymore. And she said, well, what was I supposed to do with the dog? And I said, leave it at home. Well, then she really got mad. And so anyway, I made an enemy, I guess. She didn't come to class Thursday, so I don't know if I don't remember if she even comes on Thursdays. But if she comes on Monday, she'll probably be very angry with me. But, I'm sorry. Dogs can't speak for themselves. And, and it's like children, babies can't speak for themselves. This dog was barking, but it could be a barky dog. I don't know. But it just bothered me that anybody would leave their dog in the car for an hour and a half. And I don't think very well on the spot. After I left, I thought, well, I should have said, well, if it's not hot, you sit in the car for an hour and a half with the doors closed and the windows cracked and no air conditioner, and tell me then how you feel after an hour and a half. But I didn't. But I should have. That would have made my point. But anyway, again, I've made an enemy, even though I was trying to defend a helpless dog. But anyway, back to my dog. He's a problem dog. Sorry, I knocked my computer. He's 12 years old. He has an autoimmune disease that causes him to lose his toenails. He has really bad arthritis in his back left leg, where he's a greyhound, and evidently the doctor that I take him to is an orthopedic vet. I've been going to them for years, and he said it looks like he had torn his meniscus and they didn't fix it, which is common on the racetrack. If it's a dog that's been hurt, they're not going to spend money to fix it. They're just going to either put them down or let somebody else take it. So it looks like that it was a torn meniscus that never, wasn't ever treated. So it healed weird. So he's got really bad arthritis. So the poor guy is already beat up, and he's the only dog we've got left. And I noticed when he had a dental last month, and when he had his dental, he came home and his coat along his spine looked a little rough, I guess is about the only word for it. But I thought maybe it was the way he was laying on the operating table or whatever they do to do their dentals. I don't know how it works. And I didn't pay much attention to it, but I noticed about a week later it was still looking that way. And just recently, it still looks that way. And so I went over and just kind of picked a little bit like this along his leg, and his hair came out. So that roughness is his hair coming out. So, Google is going to kill me yet. I Googled hair loss along the back in a dog. And the majority of the posts that came up were about Cushing's disease. Now, Cushing's disease is a disease of the pituitary gland, and it can have two causes. It can have a tumor that has grown on it, or it's just the gland itself either produces or overproduces its hormone. So but in listing the other symptoms of this disease, he's got all of them. So I'm taking him in today to see if that's what his problem is, or if not, then why is he losing this hair along his back? So I don't know. I'm sure they'll have to run lots of tests. So this is not going to be a cheap visit either. But what do you do? But anyway, this is my birthday month. My birthday's on the 23rd of May. And I get a double whammy in May because of Mother's Day and birthday. My kids usually combine Mother's Day and birthday. I don't think they are this year, though, because my daughter was asking me what I wanted for Mother's Day, and I said, why don't you just take me to get a pedicure? So that's what we're going to do for my birthday. But I do want to let you know, I've run in, those of you that want to support me or to help, not support me, but to contribute towards my support. The discussion has come up about Patreon charging fees. And Patreon does charge fees, just like PayPal charges fees. So if you click any of the links below the videos that have my Patreon and my donation button and stuff like that, there is going to be a fee deducted, about at least 3%. So I had someone that would rather send me the money through PayPal Friends and Family, which does not charge a fee if you have either money in your PayPal account or you have it connected to a bank account. If you use a credit card, there's still a fee. But she said she would rather send me the money by PayPal Friends and Family every month than to send to Patreon and have them deduct their 3%. So if you want to do that, or if you want to contribute, in any way, whether it's $1, $5, $10, whatever, and you don't want to pay the fees, the best way to do that is through PayPal Friends and Family. If you have a PayPal balance or it's connected to a bank account. I've been using PayPal for, I think it was like 28 years was on my thing when I signed on not too long ago. Been a member since whatever. It's a great company. People are afraid of it, but I have never had an issue. And if anything, they have helped me. I had a woman that I was into fine silver and soldering and things like that, and I had lots of silver and gold sheets and wires and solders and stuff like that, and she wanted the whole bunch. So I made her a deal. She didn't want to pay what I was asking for it, so she made me an offer, which I made a counter offer because I didn't like what she offered me. She kind of wanted me to give it to her. And so I accepted it. She accepted my counter offer, and then after she got the material, she turned around and required a refund. She didn't come to me. She went to PayPal and filed a claim against me because she didn't feel like what she got was worth the money. And it was just terrible. I mean, it was like hundreds of dollars that she was getting for like $150, and then she didn't even want to pay me that. And she, it went into a dispute, and PayPal was very good with me. They ended up, whatever she deducted from my payment, they gave it back to me. So, when they know I've been there for so long, and I've got a good reputation with them, and they knew that. And so they've helped me out. So, I'll help them out. But anyway, the PayPal Friends and Family is the best way to do that. There's not a link that I can add for you because you would have to sign on to PayPal in order to use it. But when you sign on, if you click Send Money, then it should say something about For Friends and Family. And you can click that link, and that's what you fill out. So I would appreciate any help I could get, especially now that I've got this, I'm going to have a huge vet bill. It's always something, isn't it? But, it's just life. It's better than me working a job at my age. But I will be 72 in 3 weeks. So that's kind of scary. It seems like these numbers now are sounding really old. But anyway, that being said, that's all I wanted to say. I did do a video. Those of you that follow me, you saw that I did a video. I think it came out Wednesday. I didn't get it done for Monday, but I got it Wednesday, and I don't know that I'll get one done for this coming Monday because, again, today I'm going to be gone all day. Tomorrow I'm going to be gone all day. Sunday I'm gone most of the day. And then Monday I'm gone all day. So I don't know when I'm going to have time to do a video between now and Monday. So it may be Tuesday or Wednesday next week before you get one. But I'll catch up eventually. It might take a while. But anyway, I think that's all I have for you today. So thank you very much for following me and for supporting me and giving me encouragement when I've been sick, and for being patient with me not getting the videos out as quickly as I normally do. I know they're free videos, and that's what people tell me. We're just thankful anytime you post a video, but I just kind of feel like I owe you one at least once a week. But there are times, I guess, when I'll have to go longer, but right now I'm trying to stick to the once a week thing when I get caught up. So anyway, I will see you again next Friday for another Friday Frolics, and join me someday next week for another polymer clay tutorial. Thanks. Bye-bye.